Yeah, so this is all building up because there's a new album coming out, Whoosh, that comes out August 7th, and I've ordered like the Supreme Deluxe Super Duper box set. However, that's shipping from England, and that will be arriving later in August. I'll be doing an unboxing video of that. In the meantime, if you like unboxing videos, you might want to check out my 16-minute video where I explore the Bostitch 3-hole punch. In any case, getting back to this music, they've been signed, I guess, with their current label is Ear Music, and they've been with them for, I think, about 15 years now. And I think they've done an amazing job supporting the band, and it also coincided with the band really finding their stride again. And I think that had to do with, I don't know what the internal workings of the band are like, but it seems like Don Airey and Steve Morse have really felt comfortable, I guess, or I don't know, it wasn't a case of being allowed, but in any case, they brought in their input to the band and sort of took it away from the formula that Purple had been following for, well, since really 73. So after Bananas, which was a bit of a transitional album because it was the first album without John Lord and the first one with Don Airey, he hadn't quite found his footing within the band, and they went in and did this album, and it was, I mean, there's some pretty good songs on it, but I don't think it holds up all that well. So the following album was released in 2005, and it's Rapture of the Deep. And this was the second album produced by Michael Bradford. This was, you could see sort of the sprouts of experimentation and a bit of prog stuff sneaking back into the group, and it was very promising. There were some pretty good songs in here. I mean, make no mistake, there are some songs on here that I don't care for either, but still, it was an interesting album. Like the first track, Money Talks, really great. Wrong Man, Rapture of the Deep, clearly quite absurd. Before Time Began, Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye. There are a lot of good songs on this Junkyard Blues. I mean, there's a couple there like Girls Like That and Back to Back. Maybe Don't Let Go. I mean, MTV. Yeah. But this is a really good album. They're starting to sort of break away, as I said, from that mold. My big complaint about the album is just the sonic quality of it. I don't know what happened. I'd heard that it had something to do with the way it was compressed when it was mastered. I don't know. But I really wish Ear Music would sort of have it remixed and remastered. Maybe let Bob Ezrin at it and sort of make it sound consistent with the other 3 albums. Anyway, so this is a good one to check out if you can track it down. Yeah, there's some good stuff on there, and really, I think Before Time Began was probably one of the more progressive sounding songs that they had done in a long time. I can't think of anything. Oh, geez. Back to the early 70s in any case. So they were taking sort of the first step into the new direction. Really good record with a couple songs that, you know, I'll skip over sometimes. So they toured with that album for 8 years, I think, and I don't know why they didn't do a follow-up sooner. I know that they were having fun touring and they were in demand, but in any case, 2012 rolled around and they hadn't put out an album. So I think an agent had gotten Bob Ezrin, a legendary producer involved with the band, and they went down to Nashville to record. And what became Now What? This is a really, really good record. And it sort of continues from that, I think, the path that they started with Rapture of the Deep. And they just really stretch out. And not only is it a good song album musically. It sounds amazing. It's like the best sounding album that Purple had put out, period. And it's been continued on with the most recent album. But in any case, up to this point, this is the best sounding Deep Purple album. The cover is, it's functional, I suppose. It says the title, and the name of the band. Let's see what's on the back here. A simple song is really good. Weirdest Dan, Out of Hand, Hell to Pay, Above and Beyond. John Lord, their original keyboardist, had passed away during the recording of this album, and there were a couple of songs in here that were sort of dedicated to him, and Above and Beyond being one of them. The other one being Uncommon Man. Blood from a Stone, Après-Vous, All the Time in the World, Vincent Price, and It'll Be Me. This one and then the subsequent album, and I think even Whoosh, they have these bonus tracks at the end of the album that aren't supposed to be considered part of the album proper. But for me, when it just gets looped in with the rest of the album in any case, because you play it and there it is, right? So, it's a pretty fun cover of, I don't know, was it like Jerry Lee Lewis? I don't know who. In any case, you have this rest of the album sort of a cohesive piece, and then this sort of stuck on at the end. It's fun to have, but it sort of breaks the mood. Really good stuff. There's a body line. I like that musically. It sounds like some sort of Stevie Wonder type of tune. Purple meets Stevie Wonder, I guess. But the lyrics, I'm not a big fan of the lyrics. Yeah, this is a really good album. You should check it out. And this is really sort of them getting back to being a band that was putting out albums that they were capable of. And then they went on tour and had a successful tour. There were a couple of live albums put out, and had the DVD of this as well, or the Blu-ray, whatever the kids are watching these days. And I also got this on vinyl. This is towards the end of the tour, and I think near the beginning of the tour they had one. I think it was filmed at a festival in Germany. I went with this one because I preferred the track listings and the performances that I checked out on the Tube. So again, this is a really good live album. So what did they do? They were really mixing it up on this tour, pushing the newer music. So you had Après-Vous, Vincent Price, Contact Loss, Uncommon Man, The Well-Dressed Guitar, Above and Beyond, Hell to Pay. So that's a fair bit of Steve Morse era stuff, which was nice because the band is an ongoing band. And I find some tours, they get it, they'll do like 17 songs and like 3 of them are within the last 20 years. And I realize there's a lot of casual fans that want to hear that, but it's also as a sort of a hardcore fan. I like space trucking. I love space trucking, but after you hear it a couple hundred times, you'd like to hear something else. But this is an amazing live album. Check it out. So they toured Now What for a couple of years, and then they went back into the studio again with Bob Ezrin, and then they recorded Infinite. And this continues sort of where they left off with Now What. In fact, I think the band has more of a growl again, which is really good, that they had in the early 70s. Just that rough, gritty sound that I love, and they completely recaptured this. They had all the components of that sound and Now What, but it just really gelled, I found, on this album. You had Time for Bedlam that has this crazy Don Airy keyboard solo in it. Hip Boots, All I Got Is You, Get Me Out of Here, The Surprising, Birds of Prey. Some really, really good stuff here, as good as anything they ever did. Some of the weaker songs, I would say, for me, in any case, On Top of the World, I'm not a big fan of the lyrics. I like that would be the one that I would probably not play all that much. Johnny's Band is pleasant enough, but I skip over that. You don't usually play side C, to be perfectly honest. But this is a really, really good record. Check it out. And again, on Ear Music, it's sort of a reference to the In Rock album cover where they were all on Mount Rushmore. Here they are on an iceberg. Yep. I really like the album cover. This was probably one of the better album covers they'd had in many, many years. That's one thing that Purple's album covers haven't always been consistent. So this was a good one. I really like that. So again, they toured, and I have to be honest, this is probably my favorite live Purple album next to Made in Japan. The sound on it is just crazy. It's a really, really good performance. And I think this box set that I'm getting of Whoosh, I think it comes with the DVD of this concert. Maybe not, I don't know. But so again, lots of new stuff. Kicks off a Time for Bedlam. That's one of the best opening cuts they have done in a while. Time for Bedlam, Fireball, Bloodsucker, Uncommon Man, The Surprising. And the longer the tour went on, just the crazier that song got. It's just amazing. Between that and Uncommon Man and Birds of Prey, those some really just big epic songs that are just a joy to listen to. Great chops from the band, great energy, and this is just the most raw sounding live album that they've done in quite a while. Produced by Bob Ezrin, so I don't know. I may have to dig in if that was just the fact that he had recorded. Okay, so he actually worked on it. I didn't know it was because of his involvement in the songwriting. So yeah, it's an amazing sounding live album. Again, by Ear Music. I love the support they've been giving the band and just putting out all these live albums. So so that brings us up to the most current album, which will be out on August 7th, Whoosh. And these are, if I were suggesting someone to get into Deep Purple, I would ask them if they like this like 70s style hard rock, or if they're looking for something a little newer sounding. But the two periods I would direct them to would be sort of that 1968 to 72, and really 2005 to present. They have put out some just amazing stuff. So yeah, I really hope Ear Music remasters or remixes this album at some point. But yes, so join me for the unboxing of that Whoosh Super Supreme Deluxe box set. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't want to miss it. It will be thrilling. Have a good day. Thanks.